In 20 days, I was able to make this day trading mentor 153K using offer restructuring, which is something I don't see other offer owners take advantage of, which is a huge problem, especially when they can't fully cater to their audience. But don't worry guys, I'm going to be showing you in this video how to actually structure offers that are exactly what your audience wants, and also how to be able to accommodate for the whole spectrum of your audience. And this usually happens because, and just to show you proof, this is the client onboarding form. As you can see, he only made 20K the previous month before working with me, and his price point was 4K, and less than a month, literally at the end of the month, the same month that we got started working with each other, combined 153K, which is 7.5x difference, 7.5x what he was making before, by just making these little tweaks, changing up the offer, restructuring it based on what the actual audience wants, as well as optimization on the back end. So these are different merchant accounts that we used. As you can see, all combined, it's at roughly 153K. Do want to mention that this isn't ads, this is completely organic. Actually, this guy didn't even have a YouTube. This guy didn't even have an Instagram. All he had was a YouTube account, and we didn't use any like fake scarcity. We did use some scarcity, but it was a legit scarcity. It wasn't fake. So with that being said, it all starts off by doing a full business audit, and if you are a offer owner, I highly recommend doing this. Just opt in into your own funnel and see what happens. Just make sure that automations are working. Make sure that everybody's doing their job right. You're actually getting called by your seller, and that's exactly what I done when I first got started off with this offer. I did a full business audit. First of all, I just pretended I'm a prospect, and I want to see if anybody calls me or anything like that. What I realized is, so first of all, by doing our onboarding call, the prospect. So first, when I done my onboarding call, the client did mention to me he has no financing options, and all he done was like installment payments, and it was 4 payments of 1K each. The offer is 4K, and he literally has to chase up installment payments, which is pretty crazy. Like, for an offer owner, you should be focusing obviously on a more important task, instead of actually going and chasing up payments, because he didn't have any financing options. As well as that, after reviewing some calls, I realized why he was getting so much payment split pays, because of the closer was promoting them instead of objection handling. So it was an inefficiency in the sales process. As well as that, there was no dialing system. So what I mean by that is, he did have an opt-in, but it literally didn't do anything. Like, when you opt in, nobody actually nobody actually calls you. I did try it. Nobody called me. I also submitted my application for the mentorship program. Nobody called me either. The actual opt-in process, it didn't actually involve number, only name and email, and I didn't even get emails either. No metrics were recorded, so they had no tracking sheets, no systems in place to actually track every single metric, which I absolutely highly recommend, and it's a huge thing that I take very seriously. And the whole team was very inefficient, meaning he had a closer which also like set as well, and also done the back end as well. Like, it was like a 3-in-1, and it was just not really effective whatsoever. And that was the reason why they were stuck at 20K a month. And as you can see, like, the one of the biggest challenges is a faceless offer. Literally, the offer owner does not show his face, and just because of that, a lot of people told me to stay away from this kind of offer, but I still managed to be able to get great results, and I'm going to be showing you exactly how it was possible. But the main problem was really everything was just designed for short-term success. Nothing was really designed for long-term sustainable success, and I'll explain to you very shortly exactly why this was the case. So after I got all of this information, I got started working on the offer. First of all, I started rebuilding the team. So I hired a full-time closer, which only closes. I vetted the closers, make sure they have good results, make sure that they have actual proof, which is a very big problem. In this space, a lot of people, unfortunately, in the closing space, they'll say all sorts of stuff, figures, and they can't actually prove it. So part of my recruitment process, I do ask for actual tangible results. I want to see dashboards. I want to see their sales manager telling them how great they were doing, stuff like that. So I was able to get a really good closer. Um, and he was just closing full time, so he wasn't like DM setting, he wasn't setting anything like that. He was only doing what he's good at best, and I was able to train him up, and I'm going to be showing you how I was able to do that. I also got the business owner WAP financing. I have great connections with WAP. If that is something that you do need, just shoot me a DM in my Instagram, which is in the link in the bio. Just write WAP and I can get you connected. I hired a full-time setter. So a full-time setter, what they do is they call people that fill out their applications but don't actually book a call, because that was a massive leak in the business. Is it was really set up for one-time success. So if someone doesn't actually book a call, no one was calling up the leads, and they didn't have a proper opt-in system for people that don't want to book a call right away. So I hired a full-time setter. I set up a CRM. I use close.com. I'm going to be showing you some of its great features and why I use close.com. I set up automated tracking sheets which track every single metric in the business, from the marketing to the sales side, and then also back end systems, which I'm going to be showing you. So just one example is this tracking sheet, which tracks every single dollar that comes into the business. And we done this by using a combination of Zaps, as well as tracking Google tracking sheets. And as you can see, yeah, we've done over our 150k month goal. We got our 150k cash collected, and then the revenue was 175k. So we passed our goal. And the reason why, as I mentioned, I use close.com is for something called smart views. So with setters, you really want to make sure you make their job as easy as possible. So what I done is I made it very simple. We do have a low ticket offer. We have a course, as well as we have an ebook for like $60 or something like that. So I made him a smart view, which he could quickly, every time when a new low ticket buyer comes into the funnel, he's able to call them. Any opt-ins, he can call them. I made it very easy for him to clear the inbox. I realized before they didn't have a CRM, but they had like a communication platform, and there's a lot of messages unreplied. So I made sure that he replies to every single text. Everybody that submits their application but doesn't actually book a call, they are also a smart view. So that means as soon as he clicks on any of these smart views, it will straight away give him a full pipeline, and he can automatically dial every single person. Obviously, no shows was a huge thing. The no show was massive. So the show up rate was like 30 to 40%, which was really bad. And I was able to solve that by a few little implementations, which I'm going to be showing you. Previous clients, so like let's say clients that they bought something else in the past a couple months ago, they also are getting hit up waitlist. So whenever we revamp the offer, we have a wait list, and he's able to call. And this is a follow-up list. Something very slept on is having a follow-up list. So people that they don't reply, or they do reply, say, this is a bad time, call me back. They get put into the follow-up pipeline, and he's able to follow up. And this is how the pipeline looks like. It's just an example. So if they fill in the type form, they get put in here. If they book a call, they get moved to book a call. So everything is nicely tracked, which is something that this owner was not doing. And this is just partially the Zaps that I used, which I built for this client. I used about 15. I'm going to be showing you just a few of them and how they work. So very self-explanatory, like the type form one, super important. Whenever someone fills out a type form, it gets sent to Close, the CRM, and also Discord. So we get a Discord notification. It tells us this person has filled out their application, so that we know we're alert whenever there's a new application. And and also this all gets tracked now. We use Airtable. We used to use Google Sheets before. We use Airtable now, so we could track every single application or how many we're getting every single day. Whenever someone books a call and cancels a call, this is a super important one, which a lot of people don't do. Whenever somebody cancels a call, we get notified on Airtable and also on Discord. We use Discord as our team communication platform for the internal team. So it's very important to know because a lot of people cancel and like it's for stupid reasons that they just can't find another appointment time or something like that. So we want to be alert straight away whenever we cancels an appointment so that the setter can go and call them up. And then also, whenever a new appointment is set up, obviously we want to be very alert so that the phone setter can call them up and triage a call, make sure that they're qualified. We built a we built a school community for this client, and every time when someone opts into it, so it's free training, we get notified so that the setter can actually call them. And obviously, it's super important whenever a payment fails or is successful, we have applications for that. We have notifications on WhatsApp and also in Discord as well. And yeah, these just are a few of the apps. If you want, I have templated these apps. If you want them, shoot me a DM in my Instagram, which is linked in the description, with the zaps, and I'll just send you the whole templated zaps, the whole bundle that I use. This is super important. So the phone setter every single day at the end, he will submit an end of days to make sure that we know what's going well, what's going bad, how to fix everything. Obviously, if we don't know what's going wrong, we can't fix it. So that's something very, very important. This is how I do my call reviews. So I literally have like a criteria, and I was reviewing the closer's calls, and I make sure that he obviously opens it up, and if he doesn't watch it, he gets a few warnings, and then if he doesn't carry on watching it, then I will stop the call reviews because obviously it's very valuable for a sales manager, valuable time that is taken out. So I did get him very close to 40%, got him to around 35%, which is really good. Yeah, this is how the end of the week metrics also show as well. So the most important thing for this offer is before we actually done the offer restructuring, is there was a lot of loose data and a lot of lost traffic when it comes to the tracking. So that's how we were able to get to such great results, is being able to actually have tracking sheets, tracking data, automations in place to make sure every single metric is not left unturned. So that was step 2, which was rebuilding the team and just fixing the leaks. Step 3 was restructuring the offer stack. So essentially, he had only one offer before, which was the 4K, and which is good. But what I realized is that the closer wasn't recording calls. But when I did speak to him, he did say to me a lot of people couldn't afford the 4K, and I asked him what happens then. He's like, I pretty much just end the call there, which is such a big shame, and this is a massive problem in the industry. They don't actually have proper offers that can accommodate to all levels of clients. So what we done is what I got the client to do is just reach out to previous clients and just ask them a few questions. Like, for example, the most important ones, these are the questions that we've done market research, and this is something that I highly recommend. Don't just throw spaghetti on the wall and hope like the offer actually sticks. Make sure the offer is what the actual audience wants. So obviously, whenever a new client comes in, we do a full onboarding process. We ask them a bunch of questions so that we're able to actually fulfill the promise. And also the most important thing is, like, we ask them, like, what kind of support do you actually need? What would you redeem as valuable? And from that information, we were able to restructure the offer in a way that it's literally what the audience told us they want. So what we decided to do is we actually found out a lot of people don't actually need one-on-one, and they don't really want one-on-one. They just want somebody to be able to speak to. So how we restructured this offer is we do one-on-one onboarding for the 4.8K one-on-one. That's the flagship offer. They also get weekly group coaching calls. These are the weekly one-on-one calls, but they also get group coaching calls. They get a private community they get SMS, so they get like a Discord private channel. They also get a course access, of course. And now this offer is pretty much similar. The main thing is it doesn't have the one-on-one aspects. It's just group. So it's group onboarding sessions, it's weekly group coaching calls, and it's a private community and the access. If the phone setter calls up and they don't qualify for the full offer, they will just immediately downsell to this offer for just the course access, which is $497. And believe me, we were able to get like 1 or 3 a day of these, which really adds up to the end of the month cash collected. And the phone setter will just do this right away on the phone. And I trained him to just take the payment literally on the phone. He'll send the link and stuff, and he'll explain to them like this is a great starting point. Unfortunately, not a good fit for the actual coaching or one-on-one. And that's how we restructured the offer, basically based on what the audience actually told us they want. Now, in terms of actual offer, you do need a structure. You can't just like make up an offer. Here's 4 pillars that I highly recommend. So first of all, you do need to have a very clear end result. What are you actually promising this audience? What are you actually promising the offer? What can you actually help them receive by the end of it? So you need a tangible end result. Are they going to be profitable? Are they going to make X amount of payouts? So this was a trading offer. If it's e-com, are you going to help them get their first sale? If it's weight loss offer, are you going to help them to lose X amount of weight? So you need a tangible end result, and it has to be trackable. So you should be able to track it weekly and monthly. Time frames, typically when does somebody achieve this result? Is it in 3 months? Is it in 6 months? You are obviously their expert yourself, so you need to know roughly time frames. When does someone achieve the result? This is extremely important. Is you need to stick out. What's unique about your offer? What's unique about how you go about delivering the results? And you need to really package it in a way which looks different to others and just overall looks like a no-brainer. So make sure you figure out what's really unique about your positioning. And I'm going to be showing you a little task that I do which helps me to do this. And then you need to minimize the offer. So you need a risk reversal. You need to have, it doesn't have to be a guarantee. It could be a soft guarantee, like if you don't achieve X, Y, and Z in X, Y, and Z period of time, then what we will do is we'll carry on working with you or something like that. So you need a risk minimizer. In terms of systems, so we used WAP to take payment, and then also to access the course. For Discord, we have the private community in there and also the team community. For actual calls with the clients, I recommend Google Meet. If you do have a budget, I recommend Zoom. It's just way cleaner process, but it does require some capital, especially when you increase the team size. So that's how we restructured the offer. If you already have existing clients, this is the sort of questions that I also do recommend. This helps you to really refine the offer and get it as smooth as possible. So, you can use this information in your marketing. Like, what was the biggest breakthrough that you had? What were you surprised most about? What helped you the most? Super, super, super important. And then this part especially, the improvements, I highly recommend just ask them here, what do you feel like we can improve? Is there anything else you were confused about, you wasn't happy about? What would make this a 10/10 experience? And we use that information to constantly refine the offer. And also in terms of the results, we use that also to understand why they didn't receive the results. If they didn't, how can we get them closer to receive the results? Obviously, this is a win-win situation. You help your clients to make better results. You get a better offer, a better product, and your clients get better feedback. And this helps you with the marketing. You're able to sell much more because of you got better results. So always be refining your offer and always be getting feedback from your clients. This is something that I see missed a lot, where offer owners, they get a bunch of people through the product and they forget to actually collect feedback. Feedback, very important. You can set up automations for 60 days, 90 days after they join up to fill out a survey. And by the way, we did give incentives for these people. I believe the offer owner gave them a free funded account if they were able to conduct this interview. I do recommend over a call, but if not, forms also work fine. And that's how you can get the best market feedback. Now, step four was building real urgency. So I sat down with the offer owner and we realized like we can't just be always offering one-on-ones. That's not how this works. They are soon gonna get burnt out. So what we done is we repackaged the one-on-one to early 20 spots because we realized 20 is really the ceiling of how much one-on-one attention that we can actually give to the audience. So what we decided to do is repackage the offer, create real urgency, and explain to the audience that we're gonna be doing this time early 20 people. After that, we're gonna close the enrollment, which we did. It's real scarcity, and it built real urgency, which is very important. So just take example, we obviously had the email sequence, but this is bottom of the funnel email. So this, as you can probably tell, this is not something that you want to send to someone that's brand new to your audience. This was people that expressed interest in the past in the mentorship, but didn't actually end up buying. So we literally just told them like we're gonna like we're reopening and it's limited 20 slots, which was real, and we built another wait list. And then over here, as you can see, we had like SMS blast sequence for like a few days. And we literally told them it's 20 slots only available. Once they go, they go. Because the goal was to sell out the 20 slots, close the program, and just focus on scaling the group coaching. Because that's a scalable offer. It doesn't require too much time of the actual offer owner. Whereas the other offers, they do actually require a bunch of time. So we were able to really fill out the slots very quickly. We built a wait list. When somebody enters the wait list, we also gave them access to the private Telegram. In the Telegram, we were literally building our urgency, real urgency, and hype. So we got them excited. We were doing case studies, interviews, getting them excited. And then every time somebody actually enrolls, we will drop a notification telling them that like 10 spots left, 7 spots left, whenever somebody actually enrolled into the program. So we got, like, as you can see, like not even that much people, like 127 people. Well, these are really primed people, super hot audience, because these guys have expressed interest in the past. So we were able to fill out the 20 slots very quickly, and then we done a price increase on the last 5 people because we realized that we were getting a bunch of appointments. So we wanted only the most serious people. So we done a price increase, and we did notify them that we're going to do a price increase, and we changed it from 4.8 to 6.8, and that still sold like hotcakes. So there was no problem, there was no friction at all. And I believe that was really the main thing that was able to actually scale this offer, is having real urgency, real scarcity on the actual offer. And then from that, obviously fixing the back end, which was super important. Now, after that, we fixed the actual marketing. From the information that we got, we were able to fix the actual offer. So what we done is we put emphasis on the actual unique mechanism, which is called the LCE method, which people don't actually know what this means. So we made sure that in the VSL we explained what we sold there. Instead of selling straight the mentorship, which is something that the offer done before, was just basically explain the mentorship. As you can see, like, we don't actually talk about the mentorship. We talk about the LCE method, and we're selling the LCE method and the curiosity. So we just talk about that. We talk about what's different about it in the LCE. And then basically we also, from the information that we got, we realized how people was unsuccessful previously with different strategies, and we showed them exactly why this is completely different with our method itself. So that's what the VSL was about. And we also had we changed the type form. Before the type form would ask them for their contact details first, which we realized from the analytics we had a big drop off. So instead we got them to do very soft friction questions first, and built up the friction as we get closer to the end for them to book a call. So that's what we done. We also, they didn't have a post-booking process. Now we did have it. And what we done is we obviously have a video congratulating them, but also explaining that this is not complete. They have to add it to the calendar and then watch a few case studies. And then the most important part was actually the non-automated process. Is before, obviously, when someone booked a call, nobody was doing nothing. And that was the reason why there was a massive drop-off rate when it comes to show-ups, and also when it comes to qualification as well. So we done a two-step process. We also had a setter. So the setter will, once somebody books a call, as soon as possible, ASAP, they will call them. They will qualify them. They'll ask them a few questions. If they do qualify, they'll create a WhatsApp group between them and the closer, which made a massive difference. The trust was built up. Show up rate, we got it to 80% from 30%, which was a massive upgrade. And we done this, yeah, by having a process which is actually manual rather than just all automated. If they don't qualify, then the setter will just basically downsell them to the 497 program. If they are, they'll create a WhatsApp group, and then the same evening, the evening before the call, they will send them a notification just to make sure that the prospect is still good for that time. On the same day, an hour before, they'll send them the meeting link and also double confirm. Automated process, so they obviously get redirected to a confirmation page. I see this a lot where offer owners, what they do is they just have a redirect to a thank you page. You really need a confirmation page. Tell them that they need to take these few steps. They need to accept the invite and also add it to calendar. And then obviously we had a full email nurture process. So we were sending them emails about the social proof, the actual offer owner story, stuff like that. And then they get automated emails. So this was done straight away. It will trigger the automation. And then the 1 hour before the call, they will get a text notification just to confirm they're going to show up, and then 10 minutes before they'll get the meeting link as well, and then also automated. And this was the automated process, and this was the non-automated manual process. If they fill out the application but they don't book a call, this was a massive drop off as well. So what we done is we got them to essentially, as soon as they filled out the form, the actual setter, they'll wait 15 minutes. If they don't book a call, then he will call up and triage and text them as well. If they aren't able to get in touch, they get added onto that follow-up list that I mentioned previously, and they're getting continuously reached out. This is the lowest hanging fruit, and we want to make sure that these guys get hit up. The automated this should have said this is the wrong way around. The manual process. Sorry, this is the automated process. Is they'll get texted straight away and emailed that they haven't booked a call. So this was a high CTA. It will just tell them like, hey, you didn't book a call, book a call. Then we'll send them the day after basically stories of people that also are hesitant to talk to the team, but they are now clients and they got results. So it's basically relatable to them. And then 2 days after, we will send them a bunch of social proof emails, and then we'll do hard CTA, like tell them like, oh, we already work with serious people. If they don't book a call, they won't be able to book a call afterwards. And that's how we were able to recruit a bunch of people, which were booking, applying to the mentorship, but not being actually able to actually book a call. So that's how we were able to actually get a bunch of people back on the calendar. And this is the lowest hanging fruit, and I highly recommend you take this really, really seriously. Now, last step was onboarding. It was super, super clumsy. People were asking for refunds because onboarding wasn't done well, and it was just put a bad taste in the new client's mouth. So what we done is we have two processes. We have a manual process and also automated. The manual process is we got the closer on the call to make sure to congratulate the client, create a custom Discord channel between the client and the offer owner, and then book them straight into the onboarding call. On the call to make sure that there's no information gap or anything like that. And then also we got them to automated. Obviously, they get a welcome email. They get also a text. They get access to the course, so they get like login details, and they also get told to fill out the onboarding form. And we also got the closer to actually make sure that they start the onboarding form, and they actually received it on the call, just to make sure it doesn't go to spam or anything like that, to make sure there's no chances. Because just remember, this is the biggest priority when you onboard somebody. You want to make sure that they stick around and they don't like ask for a refund and they get cold feet. So we wanted to make sure we really dial that in, and ultimately that's how we were able to get this offer. And that's how we were able to get this offer from 20K a month to all the way 153k in less than 20 days, which is 7.5x increase in actual cash collected by making these changes, these little tweaks, having real scarcity, and ultimately just having a real business rather than just a one-time purchase type of business where people actually are able to go up in a value ladder from the course to the actual one-on-ones. That's pretty much it. I really hope this video was valuable. All these resources, if you do want them, just shoot me a DM on Instagram. And if you are an offer owner yourself, let's just say you are making 20 plus K a month, and you don't have a full team, you're doing this by yourself, or you just know that you're currently not operating really efficiently. I do have a link in the bio, which is for my calendar. We can jump on a very quick call. I'd love to just dissect the business and do an audit, just like I did for this business, and see if I can even help you in the first place to get numbers like these. If not, I'm sure you will be able to get a lot of value from that call. And with that being said, on to the next one. I really hope this video was valuable.